Hi, John Rule.
Hi there, Aubrey.
It's the first day of February 2016.
My birthday.
Your birthday?
No.
No, yours was back in
Annie
December.
Laurie's birthday, my stepdaughter.
Okay. Here's the celebration that the park board provides, or the park department. And Mayor Jordan was there and had a presentation for them. And pardon?
The volunteers.
Yes, for the volunteers. He loves this city to have so many volunteers. That's
that's
Ruth
a great thing to
McCoon with
do.
him. She retired from the university, and she was head of women's athletics and a longtime teacher. And here are a few other people. And I think that's Mrs. Daggett on the right, and I can't name the lady there in the foreground. She didn't have her tag on, and I can't remember it. I know her. She's at Omni Center, and she's at the Senior Center. That's Bob Kalk there talking to that lady.
I like his clothes.
Yeah, he was dressed for the outdoors, like
Right.
you and I kind of like to be most of the time.
Hunter's green and stuff.
And
And
see
pea
that
green.
box? That box contains a bunch of different species of stems. What do we call them? What's the name of that, Lauren?
Insect hotel.
An insect hotel. And they gave these
okay.
out,
I see.
and they're parts of plants that insects will
Well,
use for housing.
Yeah, winter.
And it's there to teach the lesson that if you leave the stems up and you leave the dead trees, the falling trees, the
Right,
rotting
right.
trees, and all the leaves in the winter
Right.
on your soil, you'll be saving lots of insects, feeding and propagating a lot of insects.
And too many American lawns and parks are too clean for
Yes, they really don't help with the
No,
insects, and the birds don't have the insects to eat, and there's so many ways that.
that. Everything's connected.
Yeah.
and
So
we
there was
need 'em.
a box like that as a prize at every table, and we got one to take home,
Oh, good.
and we're hoping to find some little critters living in it.
I'm sure there will be.
And the lady with the blonde hair, you may have seen at the farmer's market, she sells native plants. So anybody that wants to get into the
Well, I know there's an older man there who sells native plants too.
yeah, there are at least two. You're
All
right.
right.
And they both have some different things, but great choices. So you see the food there was quite plentiful too. So
Lucatho, is that what?
yeah, I'd never seen one of these,
Drooping Lucatho.
but it's one at the place where this meeting was held. It's drooping. See, I got the name tag, so I might be able to remember it. Thank you for
Right.
recognizing it.
I just
Drooping.
remembered.
And there's one of my least favorite things is seeing large, healthy trees
Here's
taken
a
out.
tree, let's cut it down.
Well, it might theoretically
Yeah.
fall
Wipe
on those
out
wires.
150 years of history. That is pretty, is that a small bird?
Oh yeah, it's
Well,
a
it
sparrow
probably
size.
is an English grosbeak then. Male.
Grosbeak.
male.
Okay, and that's another.
Hairy or downy woodpecker?
Yeah, and these pictures are what do you call it? White-throated sparrow,
White-throat sparrows.
and they're probably the most plentiful.
From the far north.
Yeah.
They migrate down here in great numbers.
And they'll stay here through snow and all, a lot of them, if they can keep finding food and water.
Right.
And let's see what comes after this. Okay, this is a tiny bug. It's the size of my little fingernail.
Well, that's pretty
You see
small.
a speck in your sink. And I talked to a lot of people over Facebook, and they had never seen one close up. But says, yeah, I've seen those there. But we think it's beautiful. And
It has beautiful antennae.
yeah, and the expert at the university said that he had actually done studies on those tiny insects, and
I
they were
see.
totally harmless in the United States.
I see.
In other countries, they have relatives that are not so pleasant. but he says, you know, he sees nothing to do but enjoy them. So that's why I got the close
That's
ups.
very good.
Thanks for being here, John Rubel,
Well,
on
I'm
the
glad
first.
to be here. Do your part. Keep things green.
Yes, sir. Hello, I'm Aubrey Shepherd on the 4th of February, 2016. It's a very cold morning, so we're going to look at some warm weather flowers from last summer. Here we are, 3 halictid bees, beautiful green bees that are pollinators on these native wildflowers. This is a view to the east along 15th Street, and what I'm showing you is a stand of wonderful basket flowers that I talked about all summer. But you know what? That stand of basket flowers has been wiped out. So we've just got pictures from that particular spot. That day, this wonderful photographer from the Northwest Arkansas Times came along, made pictures of me and these 2 ladies who were out there getting native plant flower pictures. And that's Bernetta Hinnerthier and Vicki May, and they're both experts identifying flowers, such as this croton. And it's a beautiful, tiny plant that I'm lucky when I get a picture even close to as good as these particular ones. This is a milkweed species, Asclepias viridiflora. And this is out on Pinnacle Wet Prairie, which isn't far from 15th Street. It's just, which is on the Pinnacle food plant faces 15th Street. Anyway, that's an important plant to feed the caterpillars of monarch butterflies. This is a form of Liatris, and this is a different form. Both of them are likely to be called blazing star. And these are all on Pinnacle Foods, Inc. Wet Prairie. And that's a native grass that you saw in the foreground. And most of the grass out there is native grass. Here is a tall green milkweed, prairie milkweed. And here are a few butterflies from last summer. And I love this particular one. I can't remember what it's called, species, but look at it on that yellow flower. And they really love their yellow flowers for nectaring. But that doesn't mean that, I don't know what, since I can't name the species right now, I can't tell you what would be the actual host plant for this butterfly. But I guarantee you it's a native U.S. plant. This is a native honeysuckle, Lonicera sempervirens. Now, do you see a tiny spider on that grass plant? I can't name the grass right now either, or the spider, but they're friendly and they're beautiful. And this is Solomon seal. And these aren't, close to the same days. I sort of got a scattering. This is showy, whatchamacallit? Okay, I bet you know the name. Anyhow, this one I think may be shepherd's purse. I'm not certain of that, but this is also a very tiny flowering plant that you just might not notice if you don't get down close in the spring to see those. Same thing with this yellow. I'm not sure what to call it. But gosh, I was trying to find things that I probably had not shown last year when they were fresh. And I may have identified this one, but I didn't have it written by the name. Showy primrose, evening primrose. That's pretty common in the springtime and through parts of the summer. Okay, we showed this in the other part. This is a interesting tiny fly. And here is one of my favorite mockingbirds, and it was actually dipping into the bowl there that I had out for water for birds. And this is another interesting, to me, example of a woodpecker. Till next time, do your part to help keep the water clean, the air pure, the woods green, and plant some wildflowers and get some milkweed for the monarchs. See ya.